Look up at the night sky. On most nights, you will see a bright, beautiful object hanging there. That's the moon. It's Earth's closest neighbor in space. Sometimes it looks like a big, round pizza pie. Other times, it's just a skinny little sliver, like a banana. For all of human history, people have looked up at the moon and wondered about it. We've told stories about it, written poems about it, and even traveled there in rockets. It's a constant, glowing presence that lights up our darkest nights and pulls on our oceans, creating the tides. It feels like a part of our world, doesn't it? Right now, scientists have a pretty good idea of what the moon is. We believe it is a natural satellite. That means it's a big ball of rock that orbits or goes around our planet Earth. The leading scientific theory is called the giant impact hypothesis. This idea suggests that long ago, when Earth was very young, a huge object about the size of the planet Mars smashed into it. The crash sent a massive cloud of rock and dust flying into space. Over time, gravity pulled all that debris together, forming the round, rocky moon we see today. It's a fascinating story of cosmic creation. The moon is a quiet, dusty place. It has no air to breathe, no water to drink, and no life that we know of. Its surface is covered in gray dust and pockmarked with craters. These craters are like giant bowls, and they were made by asteroids and comets crashing into the moon over billions of years. Because there is no wind or rain on the moon to wash them away, these craters stay there forever, like ancient footprints. Astronauts from the Apollo missions walked on this surface, collecting rocks and taking pictures, giving us our first close-up look at this amazing world next door. But what if everything we think we know is just the beginning of the story? Science is all about asking what-if questions. So let's ask a really big one. What if the moon isn't a natural ball of rock at all? What if it's something else entirely? Imagine for a moment that the moon was not formed by a cosmic crash but was built by someone or something for a purpose. This idea, often called the hollow moon or spaceship moon theory, turns our familiar neighbor into a giant cosmic mystery waiting to be solved. Let's consider the possibilities. If the moon were an artificial structure, it would be the greatest engineering project in the history of the universe. From the outside, it might look almost exactly the same as it does now. The creators would be smart enough to give it a convincing disguise. They might have covered its outer shell with a thick layer of dust and rock to make it look like a natural world. This cosmic camouflage would protect it from meteorite impacts and, more importantly, from the curious eyes of developing civilizations like ours. The craters we see might not be random. They could be part of the design, or maybe they are just dents in the armor from eons of space travel. Think about the inside. An artificial moon wouldn't be solid rock. Instead, it could be hollow, like a giant metal sphere or a geodesic dome. Imagine vast open spaces inside, big enough to hold entire cities. There could be different levels or decks, connected by massive tunnels and elevator systems. Maybe there are giant power plants deep in its core, humming with an energy source we can't even imagine. It could have life support systems, recycling air and water for its inhabitants. It might even have artificial gravity generators, so you could walk around inside just like you do on Earth. The purpose of such a colossal structure could be anything we can dream up. Perhaps it's a giant spaceship that traveled across the galaxy and parked in orbit around our planet long ago. Its crew could be sleeping, waiting for the right moment to awaken. Or maybe it's not a ship, but an observation post. Advanced beings could be using it to study life on Earth, watching us like we watch animals in a nature preserve. They could be scientists, historians, or just curious tourists on a very long vacation, documenting our planet's development from a safe distance. The design of a constructed moon would be mind-boggling. The outer hull would need to be incredibly strong, made from a metal or material far tougher than anything we can build. It would have to withstand the constant bombardment of micrometeorites and the extreme temperatures of space, which swing from boiling hot to freezing cold. The builders would have needed to solve problems we are just beginning to think about, like how to generate power for millions of years or how to navigate such a huge object through the cosmos. It's an idea that stretches the limits of our imagination. So, if the moon was built, who were the builders? This is where our imaginations can really run wild. The most popular idea is that it was constructed by a super advanced alien civilization. These beings would have to be masters of technology, capable of manipulating matter and energy on a planetary scale. Maybe they came from a distant star system in another galaxy, looking for a new home or a quiet place to conduct their research. They chose our solar system and placed their moon-sized station in a perfect, stable orbit around our young planet. Another exciting, though less likely idea is that it was built by an ancient, lost civilization from right here on Earth. Imagine if, millions of years ago, humans or another intelligent species reached an incredible level of technology. Before some great catastrophe forced them to leave the planet, they built the moon as a giant lifeboat to escape into space, or as an eternal monument to their existence. It's a fun thought, isn't it? That a piece of our own forgotten history might be hanging right above our heads every single night, waiting to be rediscovered by their distant descendants. So how could we ever find out the truth? Scientists could use a few methods to test this wild idea. One way is through seismology, the study of vibrations. When meteorites hit the moon, it should ring like a bell if it is hollow. In fact, during the Apollo missions, scientists crashed part of a rocket into the moon and were surprised that it vibrated or rang for over an hour. Some people think this is evidence of a hollow structure, but most scientists believe it's because the moon's rock is very dry and rigid. More powerful seismic experiments could give us a clearer picture of its internal structure. Another way to check would be to analyze the moon's composition more closely. If it's artificial, its core might be made of processed metals like titanium or other strange alloys, instead of the iron and nickel we would expect. We could also drill deep into the lunar surface. If our drills suddenly break through the rock and hit a layer of smooth, manufactured metal, well, that would be a pretty big clue. Future missions, perhaps with more advanced drilling and scanning technology, could be designed specifically to look for these kinds of anomalies deep beneath the surface, finally answering the question one way or another. Whether the moon is a natural satellite or a giant alien base, just thinking about the possibility is incredibly exciting. This idea encourages us to look at the universe with a sense of wonder and curiosity. It reminds us that there is still so much we don't know and so many discoveries waiting to be made. Science isn't just about what we know for sure, it's also about exploring the unknown and asking daring questions. Every time we learn something new about space, it opens up a dozen more questions. This endless cycle of questioning and discovery is what drives science forward. This kind of big thinking pushes the boundaries of our imagination and inspires us to become the next generation of explorers, engineers, and scientists. Dreaming about a hollow moon could inspire someone to design better spaceships. Wondering about alien builders could lead someone to study astronomy and search for life on other planets. These what-if scenarios are like fuel for our creativity. They make us think about our place in the cosmos. Are we alone? Are we being watched? Or is the universe even stranger and more wonderful than we can possibly imagine right now? The truth is, the universe is a very, very big place. Our planet is just one tiny speck in a vast ocean of stars and galaxies. While the evidence strongly supports a natural moon, it's important to keep an open mind. The history of science is filled with moments where a crazy idea turned out to be true. People used to think the Earth was the center of the universe, and we now know that's not right. Who knows what incredible truths are out there, waiting for a curious mind to find them. The search for answers is one of the greatest adventures we can have. So, the next time you look up at the moon, don't just see a ball of rock, see a world of possibilities. See a reminder that we live in a mysterious and awesome universe. Let it spark your curiosity. Ask questions, read books, learn about science. Maybe one day, you'll be the one to make a great discovery that changes everything we know about space, our moon, and our place in it all. The universe is waiting for you to explore it, so keep looking up and never, ever stop wondering.